Hey guys, it's Julie. I wish I could be with you in your grade level meeting, but since I'm in the library doing a district presentation, I thought I'd give you a brief introduction through this video and let you work together on our collaborative work. Today, you're going to be birds of a feather and write curriculum clarifying documents together. It's always important when we're working together in a collaborative group to work from a set of group norms. I'd like to review these group norms so everyone knows what our expectations are for the day. It's important to listen fully and reflectively to your peers. Collaboration can only work when everyone takes time to listen carefully to their colleagues, give honest and true feedback, and work together to build consensus on decisions. It's important to practice forming new habits of mind that sometimes challenge the limits of your potential. I know that our task today in writing curriculum clarifying documents might seem a challenge to many of you, but I want you to work at it, stretch your thinking, work together to help one another to reach our full potential. This is not a task that one person alone can accomplish. We need to work together as a district team to get it done. I know that you're going to give it your best effort. Be mindful and responsible for your impact on the room. Our toys, our tablets, our laptops are all an important part of our working tools in this modern era. But when you spend time checking your social websites and texting instead of getting your work done, you give off an impression that you're not fully invested in the work. So let's be mindful of what we do, be positive in how we do it, and let's have this session be a great practical time of work. I know that I'm not your timekeeper, and I always try to value your time. I always want to give you something practical to do that will benefit you in the classroom. And to that end, it is important that you give me and your colleagues your full effort when working together for the allotted time. Make sure that you keep working until the end. We have such little time to work together. Let's use it in its wisest fashion. You may be wondering why I've asked you to do this work of writing curriculum clarifying documents. Well, as I alluded to earlier, this is just too big of a task for one person to accomplish for the entire range of courses from 6th grade through 12th grade. It's an important skill to be able to unpack the text and to understand that process, and it's always a great idea to work together to develop a viable curriculum. The more involved each teacher is in the process, the better the understanding that you have of the curriculum that we use in Birdville ISD. You've always been great contributors to this process, and your work has always been valued. So I'm taking advantage of the time we have together so that we can put forth a better product. So here's your task. You're going to work together in collaborative groups. I'd like for you to work together in teams of 3 to 4 people, and I'd really like for you to work with people from different schools. You get time to work with your schoolmates every day or on a frequent basis, and you know them and you're comfortable working with them. But I'd like for you to reach across the district and start making some relationships with colleagues from different campuses. I've asked a group leader to be in charge of the materials and sort of help you with direction in this process. The group leader will distribute sample documents to each of you. In that sample documents, you'll have a paper copy of the clarifying document template with some brief instructions which simply review what I'm going to share in this PowerPoint, and a blank clarifying document template and a sample for you to look at. All of the materials that we're using and the digital blank clarifying document template are located at this website. Take a moment and write it down. And whoever the digital scribe is for your group should have a laptop or access to a computer. And if you'll go to this website and click on the Secondary Social Studies resources, you'll find the tools that you need for today's work. I'm going to give you a moment before I move on to the next instructional page to click onto this site. I hope that was enough time. If it's not enough time, Your group leader will have this website address, and he or she can share it with you at the end of this presentation. The group leader will assign you a set of texts from the units. I took a little bit of time and I've put envelopes together. Inside each envelope are the texts for that unit. I cut the text into strips so that each group could receive a strip of an SE to work on. Once you finish that one, you go back and you get another strip. Work your way through that first envelope before moving on to the next unit. Our goal is to get at least one of these envelopes completed, but I'd like for you to continue to work for your entire time and get as far as possible in the process. Once you have your text assigned, you're ready to build your clarifying document for each SE. You should have a blank template for each SE that you write a clarifying document for. I'm going to go through the process, and I'm going to use world history as my sample to walk you through this process today. The first thing you need to know is that I want to know what grade level you're working on. So always tell me what grade it is that you are from and what unit you're working on. So for example, in world history, if my sample is going to be from the rise of Islam, that is unit 5. Then you're going to put your tech that you're working from. In this case, I'm going to use check 23A. And since I'm the curriculum writer on this one, I'm going to write my name. Sorry, I'm having trouble typing today. Just your last name will be fine. I just need a reference in case I have a question of what to put in the document or to interpret what you've written. The first step is to consider the cognitive rigor of the SE. Let's pretend that this is my strip of paper, and my SE for World History, 23A, says describe the historical origins, central ideas, and spread of major religious and philosophical traditions, including Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, Sikhism, and the development of monotheism. Well, this is Unit 5, and in Unit 5 in World History, it's the rise of Islam, so not all of this information is important. The verb, of course, in this case is describe. So what I'm going to put into the first box under cognitive rigor is describe. I'm going to highlight that and make it bold. Then I'm going to paste in a definition from the Kilgo definitions list. You have it electronically, and you also have it on a sheet of paper. So here's my Kilgo verb list. I'm going to highlight, copy, and paste the definition which is associated with the verb describe. Then I'm going to paste it onto my clarifying document template. That's fairly easy and straightforward, a simple cut and paste based on the verb that's in the SE. In the content box, the first question that I need to clarify is what will the students be, and there's a blank here, and this really is for you to insert the ing form of the verb. So what, in this case, what will the students be describing? What you're going to put into this box is the content from the SE that the students should know and be able to do. From this entire SE, the content is fairly easy to pull out. I'm going to highlight it in green so you can follow my process. What is the student supposed to be describing? The historical origins, central ideas, and spread of major religious and philosophical traditions. That is what I put in the content box. You can see it's the same as what I have here. So the next step is to complete the context box. So what would go in this box? Well, the context is the situation under which the learning is to be applied. For example, the era of history you are studying or the topical unit of study designated by that unit title. So in this case, world history would be studying the rise of Islam. Now, that's not enough to complete this box, because in context, you're also going to add any specifics that are in the including and such as statements which apply to this SE in this unit. And you're going to include any detailed information that elucidates this information. So let's go back and look at our original SE. We know that this unit is the rise of Islam. This is the era of history that we're going to be studying. So that's why I put it in the context box. Then the next thing is, what are the historical origins of Islam? Well, these three, are the historical origins of Islam. What are the central ideas of Islam? Well, I included information on the central ideas of Islam right here. And then it says, how did this religion spread? So my information on how this religion spread is included in this bullet. So within my context, I've really elucidated or illustrated each part of the content with specific examples. Now, this may require you to go to your textbook, which I hope you brought with you, or it may require you to do some research on the internet. That's why you've got a laptop with you, and I know many of you brought your tablets as well. This is particularly important for the SEs which don't have much information in our textbook. Maybe they're new SEs which were added after the adoption of our original books. Now, the next part is perhaps the hardest part. That's writing the sample assessment item. I want you to know that the sample assessment item can be either a multiple choice item or an open-ended item. I'm going to demonstrate both types. So, if I'm going to put a sample assessment item in for this particular SE, then I have to pick something which aligns with the cognitive rigor, the content, and the context in this clarifying document. Here's the item I chose. I have a picture. I asked a multiple choice item. This scene represents a central event of, and I gave 4 answer choices. I gave 4 answer choices that were reasonable choices, that reflected one correct answer, which was a central idea of this religion, the idea of a pilgrimage to Mecca, and I indicated the correct answer with an asterisk. You might also want to put in an open-ended assessment item. If you put in an open-ended assessment item, sorry about that. If you put in an open-ended assessment item, please indicate with a label that it is an open-ended item. Write your item to reflect the rigor, content, and context of your SE, and then write a sample student response which gives some indication of the elements that the teacher should be looking for in that item. So in this case, describe the importance of this event to the Islamic faith is my open-ended item, and it is also tied to the picture that I chose. So a sample response would include the fact that this is a pilgrimage that Muslims are expected to make to Mecca at least once in their lifetime. It is called the Hajj. It takes place once a year, and people arrive from all over the world in all kinds of conveyances to worship at the Kaaba and several other holy sites nearby. All pilgrims wear an identical white garment to show their equality before Allah. It's not a complete development of an essay, but it does give the teacher some indication of what they need to be looking for if they give an assignment such as this. Once you've completed the clarifying document, you need to submit it to me. I'd like for you to title the Word document with the grade level, unit, and SE number. So for example, on the one we've been working together, I would title it WH for World History, CD for Clarifying Document Unit 5.23a for the Tech and SE number. Please email each individual document to me at julia.hyman@birdvilleschools.net. Keep going with another SE until you have run out of time. Work together, have fun, stretch yourself to the limits of